All right, let's move forward here to the SEC. Arkansas at number 16, Kentucky, 1:30 p.m. tip-off Eastern time on CBS. Haslametrics makes Kentucky a 17-point favorite. Over-under of 165.5. Obviously, Arkansas not in the tournament picture. Kentucky still currently projected as a 5 seed. Derek, I'm sure you share the same concerns about the Cats that Eli and I have with their defense. Had a 2-game stretch there against Ole Miss and Auburn where the defense looked much improved, and then it's looked like it's, like it has for most of the season, right? So I don't have a big opinion on really wanting to lay 17 points with Kentucky, even though it's in Rupp and against Arkansas, but any angles for you in this one?
Yeah, I am going to be looking towards Arkansas in this game. The one thing about Arkansas is they're one of the best shot blocking teams in the country. They average 6 per game. And if you go back and watch that Kentucky game the first time around, they gave Kentucky a lot of issues with their shots inside the arc. They were really blocking a lot. I think they blocked 9 in the game. And they just affect you when you're trying to drive to the rim. And the other thing is that Devo Davis is going to be back for this game. He missed their last one, and he's one of the better on-ball defenders that Arkansas has. So I expect him to get Reeves or Dillingham in this game. So if he can stop Dillingham, man, it's going to be tough for Kentucky to win this game. Davis, he goose-egged Brandon Miller last year in the first half of one of their games against Alabama, and he really takes a lot of pride in his defense, and I expect him to get up for this game and lock down one of these Kentucky guards. And then the other thing, though, that, gives me pause in this game is that L. Ellis, the point guard for Arkansas, he turns the ball over a lot. And against Reed Sheppard in the last matchup, he turned it over 5 times. And Reed Sheppard, the one underrated thing with him, it's not just that he gets in passing lanes and he's got good hands, he's got active hands, and he can turn you over. He guides you to a spot on the floor where you don't want to go, right? And he guided Ellis to the left a lot in that game, forced him left. And, that's one of the reasons why I haven't backed Arkansas much this year, is because I do not like L. Ellis. He was 5th in the nation in turnovers last year with 120. So if Reed Sheppard is on Ellis in this game, it's going to be tough for Arkansas to develop offense with that, with Sheppard on him. So I am going to bet Arkansas in this game, but I do have a bit of pause with that matchup between Ellis and Sheppard. So
Eli, Ellis was here in my town, Louisville, last year, and the rumor is that Arkansas gave him $800,000 to go there, to lead Louisville. Holy crap, what a terrible NIL deal.
Yeah, this was not Eric Musselman's finest job in the transfer portal. He's done a hell of a job going back to his Nevada days, bringing in players left and right, when it really wasn't a thing until NIL sprouted it for a lot of teams, including Kansas, for that matter, getting Hunter Dickinson and Kentucky to extend over the last couple of years. Maybe not so much this one. Trey Mitchell maybe being the one exception. I'm pretty sure he got a bag from Calipari and the program in Lexington, but I'll leave that story for another day. Reed Sheppard. Derek hit the nail on the head with him defensively, but against Mississippi State in what was projected to be a letdown spot. I mentioned that trend with unranked home favorites against ranked teams. By no means am I saying back the trend, even though I do like Wisconsin for a bunch of reasons. Even though the trend goes in their favor, that's not the reason why my numbers lean Badgers. But back to what we saw on Tuesday night, Sheppard against Mississippi State. Kentucky winning that game outright. Steven, I think you bet the Wildcats. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But Reed Sheppard off the bench became the first Division I freshman with 30 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks in a game since, drumroll please, your favorite player, Steven, Markelle Fultz, did it in January of 2017. Sheppard had 23 in the first half. What comes to your mind when I say the name Markelle Fultz?
Pain. Sharp pain. I trusted the process. That's all I'll say. Enough said. Hashtag trust the process. Hashtag don't fool me twice. I'm done with this. I'm done with this shit, man. Back to college hoop.
I don't blame you, but Derek, I don't also blame you for taking the points here with Arkansas. It's going to be a tough one to stomach for anybody watching or listening. Comment if you want to lay the points with Kentucky at our YouTube channel, because I don't think any of us could blame you if you want to. I just think this number is going to be inflated. Kentucky wasn't deflated by any stretch. If anything, Mississippi State was clearly inflated against them on Tuesday night. But you look back over the last 5 games, including the Ole Miss and Auburn game for Kentucky's defense, with those games in mind, Kentucky still ranks in the 48th percentile defensively during this 5-game stretch. So I don't think there's a lot to like here about Kentucky's defense. I was going to make the joke about Illinois going back to the Wisconsin-Illinois game, maybe for the second to last time. I have one more point later on the show, that the Illini should actually be nicknamed the Illinois Hawkeyes, going back to Iowa's elite offense of the years.
You could see the pain in Derek's face.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. But you could also make the case that it should be the Kentucky Hawkeyes, because they are elite offensively, but they don't defend well, including this recent stretch when they played better against Ole Miss and Auburn with those games included. My raw numbers, you mentioned Haslam makes this game closer to Kentucky minus 17. I have it closer to Kentucky minus 12, even with home court at Rupp. Hogs coming off of the loss to Vanderbilt, like Derek mentioned, no Devo Davis in that game. You're buying them at a low point, probably their lowest point when it comes to the market, especially after losing to frickin' Vanderbilt at home. Also, one other point too with the Hogs, they rank in the 81st percentile when it comes to opponents' fast break points per game. And Kentucky actually ranks in the 7th percentile in SEC play in opponents' fast break points per game. If Arkansas can protect the paint, which is what Derek hit the nail on the head when it comes to their rim protection, especially with Brazil back in the lineup, you leak out in transition against Kentucky, you can have success. I know maybe Arkansas's offense was inefficient in the fast break in their last matchup, but keep in mind, Arkansas didn't have Brazil or Devo Davis in that one. I know Kentucky didn't have Dillingham on the road in Fayetteville, but I think Arkansas covers here.